Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Have you checked out the Nykaa Pink Friday Sale yet? I have made a whole video on face products focusing on foundations, powders, and so on. So I'll link that in the description box below, and this video will focus solely on eyeshadow palettes. Personally, I think this is the best time to grab your favorite eyeshadow palettes because they are on indeed great discounts. So let's get started. Everyday palette I would recommend is one from K Beauty and it's in the shade Bare Soul. It comes with this beautiful graphics embossed on it, and the packaging is excellent on this eyeshadow palette. The only drawback I see is that because of the very light blush pink color and the eyeshadows being quite dark, I have stained my palette whenever I use it. However, the color story is very beautiful and you get a very neutral warm toned palette in here, which is quite rare for the Indian market as well. The only light shade here is cream, and on my skin tone is you cannot see it at all, so I use it to set my eyes when I color correct. So the first line is your neutral cool toned, then the middle one is warm toned, and the third one is again a warm toned line here. Now I'll zoom you guys and I'll show you some swatches of these shades, and I have also featured this palette in my K Beauty One brand video, and I'll link that in the description box below. So I'll show you the shimmers in this palette. So these are two shimmers, copper and champagne. As you can see, these colors are very pigmented and you can build them up by your liking. The next palette is from Huda Beauty and this is in the shade Empowered, and this is the perfect palette for Indian skin tones. If you want a mix of warm tones, neutral tones and cool tones, and this is how the palette looks like up close. As you And Huda especially is known for using different types of formulations in her palettes, and this palette is great for that if you really want to try out the formula from Huda Beauty. Again, I am here swatching two shades, two matte shades from the palette, the grey shade and the mauve pink shade, and as you see they are extremely pigmented. Then I'm swatching the gel shade, and it did have a very good presentation in the palette. However, because I'm now using it, you cannot see it anymore. And this is a rose gold shade which has some flecks of gold in there, and it looks very beautiful if you want to try it out as a one-under eyeshadow. And then the next one is again a dual chrome shade. It has hints of purple, grey and a little bit of green in there. Again, a very beautiful shade if you want to try it out. The next palette is also from K Beauty, and this is their multi-canvas palette, and this is in the shade Twilight. So this palette is specifically for those pink and purple lovers, and you get different types of formulations in this palette. And just as the Huda Beauty's palette, even this palette has experimented in the ways of presentation of different shadows and the formulations of different shadows. I'll zoom in you guys so you can see, you can take a better look at this palette. These two shades are gel-like shimmer shades, and this one is a satiny beautiful shade. Then this purple one is your traditional glitter shade. You do need a glitter glue on your eyes for this eyeshadow to stick on. Then these two shades especially are my go-to shades if I want that wet eye look. If you want to try that out, then that is perfect using this eyeshadow. And now I'll show you some swatches of the shades as well. I'll first swatch the gel-like shade that I mentioned, and again the satiny shade that I mentioned. These are my absolute favorite from this palette, and just look at that sheen. It gives you that beautiful wet look to your eyes, and if you're really into that look, then this eyeshadow palette is is a must. So you can see that it does have this flecks. It has a base of rose and it has this flecks of gold in there, so which makes it look very beautiful. Again, I'm swatching another matte shade here, which is a burgundy purple shade, and trust me guys, this is very difficult to formulate because there are high chances that this shade will especially get very patchy. However, you get a very beautiful swatch of this. This is the silvery white shimmery shade, and on touch it is quite rough, which I do not like. However, the swatch is beautiful and it does look very good on the eyes. So that's for this video guys. I know I have just shared 3 eyeshadow palettes, but these are the palettes I get the most use from, and I do believe in investing in products from you get the maximum use from. And I know Huda Beauty is not offering a lot of discounts this sale, so which is quite surprising, and I do hope that they do offer flash sales so that we can get our hands on her other palettes as well. Until then, see you in my next video, and the next video is coming on lipstick recommendations. Until then, bye bye.